Thank you. Come on in. Everybody come on in and get sit. Yep, come on in and get settled down. Get your stuff ready. We're about to go into genetics. We're about to go into genetics. All right. So before we get started, I want everybody to write this question down. What does it mean to inherit? Think about that question. What does it mean to inherit? What does that phrase mean to you? Inherit. All right, so we're going to be starting with the new standard. It's on genetics and heredity. Who want to tell me what the standard is? It is S7L3B. What I want you guys to learn from this standard is I want you to be able to develop and use a model to describe how sexual reproduction can result in offspring with identical genetic information, while sexual reproduction results in genetic variation. So we're going to break that down. We're going to learn all about your genetics, where your eye color come from, your hair color, what family member you look like. We're going to do some fingerprinting. I'm going to have someone to come in for the forensics department from AU. We're going to get into genetics. We're going to do a lot dealing with this genetics. I want you guys to also know that you have 10 vocabulary words this time. We'll be going over asexual reproduction, chromosomes, genes, genotype, heterozygous, homozygous, phenotype, selective breeding, sexual reproduction, traits, dominant, and recessive. So, while you guys are thinking about what it means to you to inherit, put it on your little sticky note that I got on everybody's desk. Put it on your little sticky note. And then I'm going to send you guys up to the parking lot. Don't put your names on it. Just put it on the sticky note, and we're going to go up to the parking lot. I want to first start off by saying we have Gregor Mendel. You're going to be hearing that name a lot. Gregor Mendel. He was a monk born in 1854. He studied inheritance, which was the pea plant. He discovered two traits, dominant and recessive. We're going to talk about the two laws he developed, and we're going to practice on how to identify what is a dominant trait, what is a recessive trait, what is a homozygous or purebred trait, or what is a heterozygous trait or a hybrid trait. All right. And then, like I said, we're going to get into the DNA part, DNA versus RNA, genetics, heredity, and traits. We're going to get into DNA base pairing. We're going to do Punnett squares. Like I said, it's going to be very exciting, especially when you guys get into your fingerprinting. You guys start doing a Punnett square. Don't nobody go home and tell your parents I told you, hey, I figured out who my daddy is, because that's definitely not what I'm going to be teaching or showing you how to do. I'm just going to be showing you how you personally came about. All right, so before we get started on the opening question, what does it mean to inherit? I want you guys to take a few minutes, write it down, and then I'm going to call you up and put it on your parking lot. So in class today, we're going to be discussing genetics and heredity, DNA, RNA, traits, dominant traits, recessive traits, homozygous traits, Punnett squares. We're going to be covering all this in my unit. Students will be able to identify who Gregor Mendel is, look over the pea plant, to see how he came up with those traits he studied in inheritance, and then those laws. That's how I'm going to start this unit with genetics and heredity.